Hello students, how are you all? Today we are going to start new chapter 5, that is Introduction to Euclid Geometry. So basically in this chapter we have to study about postulates of Euclid, some axioms of Euclid and some definition. So here see exercise 5.1. In exercise 5.1 question number 1, which of the following statement are true and which are false? Give reason for your answer. So in first part it is asking only one line can pass through a single line. So it is false because infinite many lines can be passed through a single point. Therefore in first part it is false. In second part there are an infinite number of lines which pass through a distinct point. So yes, here second part it is false. Why? Because through two distinct points there can be only one line can be passed. Suppose we have any 2 points, okay, and from these 2 points only one line can be passed. So this is also false. Now in third part, a terminated line can be produced infinitely and on both sides. So this is true. We can produce any line infinitely on both the sides. Suppose we are drawing some line, so we can produce this line on both the side infinitely. In fourth part it is asking two circles are equal, then their radii are equal. Yes, when the radii of two circles are equal, then we can say that circles are also equal. Now in fifth part we have given figure, that is AB, PQ and XY. So here AB equals to PQ, PQ equals to XY and AB equals to XY. Therefore, so in this, when two sides are equal to each other, then it is also equal to its third side. So in this we can say according to Euclid first axiom. So according to first axiom, things which are equal to the same things are also equal to one another. Hence the statement is true. Now after this, see question number 2. Give a definition for each of the following terms. So are there other terms that need to be defined first? So what are they and how might be they defined? So in first, parallel line. As we know what is parallel line, so yes, there are other terms. So we can say parallel line. So in this, when we define a parallel line, so it can be defined with the help of a plane. So here flat surface which can, so here plane can be defined as a flat surface which geometric figures can be drawn are known as plane. A plane surface is a surface which lies evenly with the straight line and on itself. Now, so here we can say about a parallel line. So parallel line are those lines which never intersect to each other and are always a constant distance perpendicular to each other. So parallel line are always have a equal distance between them. Now after this, a perpendicular line. So perpendicular line are the line which makes a equal means it, when it make 90-degree angle. So perpendicular lines makes 90-degree angle with each other. Now in third part, line segment. When a line cannot be extended any further because of two end points, then the line is known as line segment. Now in fourth case, radii of circle or radius of circle. A radius of circle is that line from any point on the circumference of the circle on the center of the circle and square. A quadrilateral in which all the four sides are equal and all the angle are equal to 90 degrees, known as a square. Now after this, question number 3. Consider two postulates. So we have two postulates. Give any two distinct points A and B. There exists a third point C which is in between A and B. And second, there is exist at least 3 points that are not on the same line. Do these postulates contain any undefined term? So are they containing any undefined term, and are these postulates consistent, and do they follow from Euclid postulate? Explain. So here yes, we can say these postulates contain undefined term, and we can also say that on top that there are no information about the point. So information of point is not given, so we can say yes, the postulates are consistent. And postulates are consistent because C can be lie between A and B, and C does not lie on the line segment AB, and it cannot be lie on line segment AB also, no. So here they don't follow a Euclid postulate. So it is not following a Euclid postulate. So they follow an axiom. So they are axiom. So here we have to define. Now question number 4. if a point C lies under A and B such that AC equals to BC. Now then prove that AC is half of AB. Explain by drawing figure. So in this we can draw this figure. AB and C will lie between them, and we have given that AC equals to BC. Now on adding AC both sides, so LHS plus AC and RHS plus AC, AC plus AC equals to BC plus AC. So it will be 2AC equals to BC plus AC. We know that BC plus AC equals to AB, so we can say that twice AC equals to AB, and AC will be equal to half of AB. So in this way we can prove it, that is AC is equals to AB. Now after this, see question number 5. In question number 4, point C is called midpoint of the line AB. Prove that every line segment has one and only one point. So in this we have to prove that every line segment have one and one point. So here AB, these are the end point of this line, and we are considering point P and Q lies between A and B. So let us assume that AB is the line segment, assuming point P and Q are two different midpoint of AB. Now P and Q are the midpoint of AB, therefore AP equals to PB and AQ equals to QB. But also we know that PB plus AP equals to AB, as it is coincide with line segment AB, and similarly QB plus AQ is also equals to AB. Therefore we can say, if this is possible, adding AP to LHS and RHS equation will become AP equals to PB. So we get AP plus AP equals to PB plus AP, but it will be equal, are added to the equal, so the wholes are equal. Therefore we can say that this point will lies on the same point. So after this we can say that twice AP equals to AB. Similarly we can say that twice AQ equals to AB. Now from equation number 1 and 2 we can say twice AP equals to twice AQ, but it will become AP equals to AQ. If AP equals to AQ, it means we can say that P and Q are the same point. Therefore this contradicts the assumption that P and Q are two different midpoints of AB. Thus it proves that the every line segment has one and only one midpoint. So by this we can say every line segment have one midpoint only. Now in this figure we have AC equals to BD. We have to prove that AB equals to CD. Now in this AC equals to BD, now from the given figure we can get here AC equals to AB plus BC and BD equals to BC plus CD. Now adding these, so here AB plus BC equals to BC plus CD. As we know that AC equals to BD, we know that according to Euclid axiom. So according to Euclid axiom we can say that when our equals are subtracted from equal, remainder are equal. Therefore we have to subtract here AB plus BC minus BC and BC plus CD minus BC. So it will become AB equals to CD. So AB equals to CD. This we have to prove. Now question number 7. Why is axiom 5 is the list of Euclid axiom considered universal truth? So we have to explain that why this axiom number 5 is universal truth. So in solution we know that the whole of is always greater than a part. For example, a cake, when it is whole of or complete, so assume that the measure 2 pound, but when a part from it is taken out and measured, so its weight will be smaller than the previous measurement. So fifth axiom of Euclid is true for all the materials in the universe. Hence axiom 5 is the list of Euclid's axiom and considered as a universal truth. Now after this, next exercise, that is exercise 5.2. so this exercise is 5.2. now in this exercise 5.2, so here we have given how would you rewrite Euclid fifth postulate, that is that it would be easier to understand. So here we have to explain axiom fifth postulate. So Euclid's fifth postulate: if a straight line falling on two straight line make the interior angle on the same side of it taken together less than two right angles, then the two right angle if produced infinitely meet on that side on which the sum of angle is less than two right angle. That is, the Euclid fifth postulate is about the parallel line, and parallel lines are the lines which do not intersect each other ever and are always at a constant perpendicular distance apart from each other. So parallel line can be two or more lines. Now in A part, suppose point A, that is if x does not lie on the x on A, when we can draw a line through x which will be parallel to that of the line, and B, there can be only one line that can be drawn through the point x which is parallel to line A. Now after this, question number 2. So in question number 2 we have, does the Euclid fifth postulate implies the existence of parallel line? Explain. So yes, Euclid fifth postulate does implies the existence of parallel line if the sum of interior angle is equal to the sum of right angle, then two lines will not meet each other at any given point, hence making them parallel. Therefore in this we can also draw this diagram, that is if here angle A plus angle 3 equals to 180 and angle 2 plus angle 4 equals to 180, then in this case line will be parallel. So line will be parallel, then there will be equal distance between these lines. So we can say that angle 1 plus angle 3 equals to 180 or angle 3 plus angle 4 equals to 180. So in this way, or we can also say that angle 2 plus angle 4, that is equals to 180. These are the interior angle on the same side of transversal when these lines are parallel. So in this way your chapter is complete, and in this chapter you have to also learn all the 5 postulates and all the axioms also. So all of you, thank you for watching this video and have a nice day to all.